Now let's give attention to Africa, where many in Senegal do not like the idea of former President Macky Sall succeeding the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres. Victims of the violence in the country in 2021 and 2024 under the former president's regime are strongly opposed to his nomination. So are some of the ruling majority. Guy Mario Sagna, a member of parliament for Senegal's ruling party, PASTEF, says the UN must not become a laundering place for blood and economic crimes, which he claims the former president committed and encouraged. Macky Sall's supporters deny the accusations, insisting that he meets all requirements to lead the United Nations. His candidacy, which was put forward by the president of Burundi, is supported by much of the political class and by the country's trade unions. But the Senegalese government is yet to state its support. African Affairs analyst Victor Ohai joins me live as we look into this matter. Mr. Ohai, here we are, and as an African who is witness to Macky Sall's presidency, where do you stand? Do you support Macky Sall for UN Secretary General?
Well, obviously, if you can hear me, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, please, I can.
Yes. Now, obviously, as an African, I would want a seat at the table, which means that being a UN Secretary General will give us a seat at the table. So that is very, very important for us. It's the next best thing to having being a member of the, a permanent member of the UN Security Council. Now, in this particular case, it would seem ordinarily okay, but the foundation of Macky Sall's nomination is a bit faulty. Normally, I think we talked about that the last time I was on this program, one would expect that his country would be the one to put him forward. That is normal, that is traditional. And would then lobby other African countries. He may be the most qualified, but the truth is, if you don't have home backing, then it becomes very difficult. And the question is, and this is what makes it suspicious, why did he have to go through Burundi? Yes, they're heading the AU right now, the leadership of the AU, but I expect that his country should have been the one that is pushing him forward, but that is not the case. And as I predicted and I expected, obviously that's going to be divided. The government is silent for good reason too. One, they have felt slighted, and secondly, they don't want to be seen as fighting their own. So the best response is just askance. Look at him like, okay, you want to do it, go ahead and do it. And then they're probably speaking through other people as well. And then the other important lesson here as well is that the evil that men do lives after them. I mean, when we say evil, whatever you do, it is at moments like this that, there is judgment. Even after leaving office, he may not have undergone any trial or whatever, but there is a court of public opinion. And that is a groundswell that we're seeing right now on the ground in Senegal.
What's playing out appears to be a case of silence speaking louder than words. But what is the implication of Macky Sall's predicament in Africa? You mentioned earlier that you would like for a seat at the table where Africa actually, occupies that seat. But with Macky Sall's chances looking slim, his unacceptability, or call it rejection, by his home country, yes, we had to hear from them, but the silence is speaking volumes. With that, doesn't it seem as though Africa might just lose this opportunity?
He's already lost because, quite frankly, unless there is an agenda and it's going to be a stooge in the hands of the Western powers, in that case, he will serve their interests. If he's able to play that politics, either through France or through the US, then anything can happen. But as we know, the chance this time is going to Latin America. But unfortunately, they are putting together about at least 3 candidates, and there is at least a woman among them. And you know that everything is working towards the Guterres and the others, the hierarchy are right now favoring a woman for the position. So his chances are getting slimmer and dimmer by the day, but it doesn't mean that he doesn't stand a chance. It's all about politics. If you play the politics well, if you're willing to be a chalk in the hands of the masters to write whatever script, or a pen in their hands to write whatever they want, they might just get it. You never know.
Well, but it appears that would need to take a lot of politicking, to be able to convince others, and especially his home state, to give him their support, even as he attempts to get into that seat. African Affairs Analyst.
Let me quickly add this. Just briefly, it's not compulsory that his country must nominate him. What is important is that a member nation nominates him. So it does not mean that he has lost the chance to contest, but it just means that without home support, his chances are slim.
African Affairs Analyst Victor Ohai, thank you for your time on World Now.
Thank you for having me as always.